What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew, and welcome back to Space Engineers Mobile Survival. This is episode number 7, and last episode we ended on this beautiful lake surrounded by cliffs in all directions. A very unique lake that I hadn't seen in a while, and one of you had a really good suggestion for the name, and that is Evolution Lake, because we're going to enter a small grid rover and we're going to leave a large grid rover, because that's what we're doing in this episode. Oh wait, here's a postcard. Boop. But that's what we're doing in this episode. That's the main event. We're changing this small grid rover into a large grid one. We're at the halfway point of the series, and so it's time to swap over how things are done. The large grid rover should make things a little bit more interesting. Our small grid rover is pretty perfect at this point, which is why it's probably a good time to switch over to the large grid. And what we're going to do to switch over to the large grid is we're going to start with these 2 large grid blocks we have up here, and we're going to build off of those. And so what we should end up with is a large grid rover on top of this small grid rover, and then we'll disconnect the small grid one, move it out, and we'll have the large grid one in its place. And that should work without a hitch. I guess we'll see. But let's, how do we want to start this? Let me do a material check real quick before we do anything else, because I want to see how much iron we're working with, how many steel plates, and stuff like that. So if I look for steel plates, it looks like we have about 550, and if I look for just iron, it looks like we have a good, yeah, we have a lot of iron, okay. Now, how are we going to do this? Well, what I think we're going to start with, if I have, yeah, I do have steel plates. In fact, we might use interior walls, because they only require interior, or maybe we'll use interior walls for the walls and steel plates, and light armor for the bottom. But we're basically going to do something like this, and our rover's not going to like it because that's going to be a lot of weight on the top, but it's going to be fine. We're going to do something like this. Or let me think about this, actually. If we do this, let's start with a block up here, and then we go like that on the sides. That's going to give us a nice little platform, and I don't know how wide I want it. Maybe we're going to start with this, and we're going to do something like this for the wheels. Put them down there, and we'll have wheels on either side. Bada boom. It's going to be like a wheel right there, and it'll be good. So just for the first few wheels, we're going to do something interesting. We're going to go with a 2x2, which is the new one that they added in the Automatons update. So let's go with that and see how big that is. Okay, that's a reasonable upgrade from this wheel, but not as big as the 3x3, which would be very massive. I'll show you what the 3x3 looks like on this side. So that would be the 3x3 right there. So here's a comparison of the 3x3 versus the 2x2. We're going to be going with the 2x2s here, and that should let us, you know, work pretty well. And if that's not enough, we can eventually upgrade to the 3x3s if we need to, but 2x2s will be fine for now. There we go. That's going to be about the size of our rover, which is pretty massive, but not like, it's only like double the size of our existing rover. So it's not like a huge like upgrade that's going to go crazy. It's just a decent upgrade. Then let's move this. Well, I don't really want to cover the solar panels at this time, because if I do, we're no longer going to get sun anymore. So maybe what we'll do is we will build up. Well, we could build forward. That might not be a bad idea if we build forward like this. The only problem is, as we build forward, it's going to start tilting our rover forward as well. So I don't know about that. I think I'm going to go with a 3-wheel design like we did here, except the wheels are going to be a little bit different. I'm going to go out 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go out like right here and put another wheel right there. And we're going to do then like maybe double that on the front and come out again. And there's a wheel. So there we go. We're going to go something like that. Now our rover's not liking that at all. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put a little support pillar here. In fact, let's be fancy and use a column because it's going to look cool. So we're going to put a little column like that. So if it tilts forward, it's not going to tilt all that far. And then we're going to go out this way a little bit. 3. I'll put the column here and remove it from here. Well, I'll keep it there. Okay, we're starting to tilt forward, but let's back up just a little bit, and that is going to be the profile of our rover starting out. So it's gonna have, well, it's a similar profile to this one if the wheels were back a little bit. It's pretty much just a bigger version of the rover we already have. But yeah, it's not gonna be too massive, not yet. We can always expand it like we expanded this one, but it's gonna have significant space for anything we need pretty much, which is gonna be very nice. Okay, before we go and do anything else, I want to get these wheels built up. This might take a lot of materials, but we should be able to do it. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wheels, and then we need the same suspensions. But I'll start with the wheels. How about that? And see what I can get. Okay. So we're missing the construction components, but we've got a lot of the steel plates. I think we might have all the steel plates we need for this task here, which is nice. Those require 15 large steel tubes each. Oh my gosh, that's so many. It's okay, we'll get them. It just might take a second. Okay, for this task, this guy's gonna need 5,000 iron. Luckily we have enough. We have like 7k with us. And I think the refinery, if I check here, is still producing. So if I go in here, yeah, it's still making iron, so I like that. Let's let that keep doing its thing, and hopefully we'll have this up soon. Now, what's gonna be really nice about having the large grid rover is we can build the large refinery and also the large assembler. So from here on, things should be a little bit easier. Now, we might run into another power problem because we're gonna need a lot more power to run those things, but we'll deal with that when we get to it, which is not now, not yet. I guess we can always make power cells and put some large grid batteries on there for the time being, but getting some stuff up and running would be very nice. Oh gosh, this is gonna take ages, isn't it? How slow are you? Very slow, that is the answer. Let's stop making steel plates because we don't need those. We've got plenty. This should be enough for one wheel. Yeah, okay, we've got one wheel up and running, and look at it, she's a beaut. Maybe we can actually color this wheel and we'll be able to see it a little better than those ones. But yeah, this is gonna take a long time. So maybe we should start working on the top side as well. After we have this steel plate sort of skeleton, I think maybe I want to, let's do something like this for these. And we'll do the same on the other side, just so that we have like our area to build in. Then we'll do a cool thing with these, which should look kind of interesting. There and there. And same on this side. Okay, so we've got our platform and we've got our basic design for the rover bottom. It's gonna look kind of interesting. Oh, feel critical. This is now touching the ground, so we don't have to worry about weight anymore. It's not like flipped our rover or anything, which is nice. Let's hop up here real quick and see if we can get some fuel. Thank you. You just have to tap it and it'll give you the fuel, which is nice. Have you built us more stuff while we've been designing over here? Yes, you have. Nicely done. Life would be a dream if I could get a bigger refinery. If I could assemble the steel plates with glee. Life would be a dream, sweetheart. Now for the undercarriage of this, I think we're gonna do something a little interesting as well. We're gonna do a little bit of a thing, like with that. And we'll have like a half block there, and the half block will go down the middle like so, and it'll be cool. There we go, that should give it at least a little bit of shape on the bottom so it's not just like a flat grid. And then we could add like, since these are half blocks, we could have something sticking out, maybe like an ore detector down here, or something like that. Should look good. Okay, I've got 14 interior plates here, so what I'm gonna do as well is I'm gonna go ahead and do something like this. So I'm gonna bring this up and over, and I'm just gonna stick a normal, whatchamacallit, normal one of these on here, which should be able to store all the stuff we need. We can bring everything from this ship over into this one with like the click of a button, which will be very nice. So we'll build that up as well, if we have the components for it. I don't know if we do. Boop. Well, let's do the wheels first, since those are the ones we're queuing up here. And then let's see if we can build this guy. How creepy is this? We're like in the middle of a field, or of like of Evolution Lake, and there's nothing. There's just no sound. Like anyone could be watching us from the cliffs. Anyone could be anywhere just watching us build this thing. Does this seem a little, like, I feel like maybe this front wheel should come back one. Or maybe this back wheel should come back one so they're closer. We'll leave it as is. It's fine. It might not be the golden ratio, but it's fine. Okay, here we go. There's one wheel and there is our last wheel. So all of our wheels are done now. Let's get the suspensions done. Is there anything on my build planner? There is. Let me see if I can get all the stuff for the cargo container as well. What are you missing? I'll go ahead and put that stuff in the build planner as well. And then let's try and get all these suspensions built up as well. And that's going to require 6,000 iron. Do we have that iron is the question. Refinery says no, but we almost do. We have about 5,000. And then we should have some left over from the 7,000 we had before. So there you go. And get to work. How we doing on the sun? Okay, we're going to lose a little bit of sun time during this day because we're doing a lot of building, but that's totally fine. Because we were making very good time on the small rover. I can only imagine we'll also make good time on the large rover. Unless we crash and burn, you never know. It could happen. You know what? Maybe we'll be a little proactive and we're going to build some of these in there by default. Just so we don't have to build them in later. They'll be at about the suspension level, so that's pretty good. And then we'll build some into the back as well, but that'll be nice to have because I know we're gonna want to maybe expand this Rover or just build it out a little bit later. Maybe we'll go for the 3x3 wheels instead of the 2x2. At some point, we have to see how it drives. So for now, we'll just build some in. Okay, we've got the small cargo container built up. Now we just gotta get these guys built up as well. And then we should be able to start transferring stuff from this grid to that grid. Or, I mean, we should have it for the future. We don't necessarily need a transfer right now, but... It's so quiet out here. We do have a lot of steel plates here. Let me go ahead and build up the bottom of the ship. Oh, they're in a different medium cargo container. Maybe one over here. Oh, yes, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and build up the bottom of the ship here, or at least a little bit of it. Oops. Maybe the spine. Let's go ahead and build up the spine. Okay, there we go. We got some of it built up. I don't know if I want it to be the same color as our other ship, so let's make it like a white color maybe. We might use the new plastic armor too. Plastic, white, and see what that gives us. Because that's not going to look that bad. Maybe we'll use a different color up top, so this layer will be all white, and then the top layer will be a different color. Okay, 35 minutes in, and we've got basically the wheelbase. Oh, we're getting there. All right, since we have this little shell on the bottom, I feel confident putting some stuff in the floor of the Rover. So what I think we're gonna do, let's count blocks here for a second. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 between these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be the middle. Let's take the middle block here. We'll grab the middle and the middle back, since the back has 2 wheels. And we're gonna put some, well, maybe we'll get 3. We're gonna put 3 batteries in the floor right there. And that should go pretty well for us. We're gonna use our warfare batteries because they look nice. And we're gonna put them, I think that way? Yeah. Like that. Okay, 3 warfare batteries in the floor. And since those are pretty heavy, that should keep our weight kind of centered, which will be nice. And we're using our floor for more than just like steel plate usage. I'll go ahead and grab one of those. I'll throw it in the production. We only need to build 1 right now. Speaking of that, we are almost done with our suspensions. We've only got 2 more. There we go. All suspensions built up now. Perfect. And I guess we have this built up as well, so we can go in here now and go to our wheels. Grab all the ones that, oops, grab all these guys. We'll grab all these guys and go to height offset max, height offset min, there we go. And we're gonna give them a little bit of strength. Okay. There we go. Now they're all on the bottom. We could technically disable it or like disconnect this and move this one out if we want to. And maybe we do want to. Because this is kind of pushing this guy down a little bit. Okay, at this point I feel pretty confident disconnecting this ship from this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some steel plates if we have some. I'm going to put these ones into production first so I can make those real quick. And we're gonna find a way to get this out from under this. Okay, for now what I'm gonna do, I removed the battery that was right there and I replaced it with a piston. We're gonna grab the motors and large steel tubes for that. I'm gonna remove everything else except for that. Okay, there we go, we've got our motors. Let's build that guy up. And now what we can do is lower this. So let's go up here and give it a little bit of velocity. A little more velocity. Okay. And that's going to start raising our ship up. Oh. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, perhaps if I put a block on the bottom, maybe that'll fix that. Yeah, okay, that seems to have fixed that. Okay, cool. That's probably as much as I need. Oh, that's really high. Okay, that's fine, actually. Just so this doesn't come down and like smack the ground at like insane speeds, I want to put 1 more there. And we should now be able to remove that guy, and it should tilt this back forward. Okay, are you guys ready? Here we go. Removing the advanced rotor. Okay, cool. All right, let's back this guy up. Wait, did I make a mistake? Oh shoot, I may have made a mistake because that's where our that guy was, and it no longer has power. Good job, Andrew. Very good job. Well, let's lower this to the ground. We'll deal with that in a second. Oh, it no longer has power. Right, I can't just lower it. Well, that works. There we go. And then we'll just remove this. There we go. And one right there. All right, we now have a powerless thing right here, and we have the other rotor, which has power, but no longer has an assembler. Luckily for us, we should be able to go in here and go to our survival kit and build up some power. Never mind. Well, now that we've seen the genius level stuff that I do sometimes, let's, I'm sure some of you guys are screaming from the comments, no, don't do that. But no, we did it, and now we have to figure out a way around it. So what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the front over here. We're just gonna put a connector, and we're just gonna connect our ship up to it. Can I not do it that way? Okay, I guess we'll do it that way. We'll have to build that up. It's gonna require a lot of steel plates, but luckily we have lots. Because we were building some up before we did the old disconnect. Small steel tubes and computers. I'll grab. Can I withdraw the computers? Okay, well our survival kit can build those. Looks like that's gonna need some iron. Okay, I can provide iron. All right, let's drive this guy around over here as well. Oh gosh, the rover looks so weird now. Also, it doesn't corner very well, does it? I don't know, but we're gonna basically just back it into that spot right there. Okay, this should be good. We'll stop it right here for now, hop out, and this is where we'll put our little connector that's gonna connect to this right here. Okay, computers. There's that one. What do you guys think? Something like that, maybe? Maybe one, that should be, maybe one higher. Okay, there we go. We now have our little connector. We can back this in and should be able to connect. If it's far enough forward, that is. We're gonna do the cardinal sin as well of pressing P, if this lets us connect here. Yes, okay, we're connected. So these, yes, okay, these are now working again. Awesome. We've done the transfer. It was not the smartest idea to disconnect this before it had its own power, but it worked out fine, so I will accept that. This is a pretty cool image, actually. It's like the small ship feeding the large ship until the large ship will one day be feeding the small ship. All right, now as far as this top goes, the cockpit's gonna be somewhere up near the front, although I don't know exactly how it's gonna be positioned. Probably on one of the sides, so we'll probably have a cockpit. Like, I don't know if I wanna have it right in the middle. Maybe like a side cockpit and then like windows or something. I don't know, like a little seating area, and then it's gonna have a way that you can go back, and then all of our equipment will probably be on one side. So equipment-wise, we're gonna have a refinery. We're gonna have a proper refinery, and I guess we can. Well, we could use the industrial one. I don't know that the industrial one would go very well here though, because it's very tall, right? It goes like this. There we go, and it goes one way. Like you can't really have it sideways like that. I mean, you could, I guess. But it's meant to be positioned like that. And if we have it like that, and we had like two, for instance, then our rover would probably have quite the profile if we look back at it. It would be very large. And I don't know that I necessarily want it to be that large. Now, we could do something interesting, though, if we remove these and we did something like this. Number 9. Like that. Then we technically have like a little pathway up to our rover, right? Like that. Which wouldn't be that bad. The only problem is that if we get stuck on some rock under here, it would probably hit this, making it very weird. Although I don't think I mind that, because we could go like the same on this side. Like that. Then we have two ways up. Our rover's kind of symmetrical. And if I look at the profile here, it's not that weird. Profile on the side looks like that, which isn't that bad. Those aren't touching the ground. I could do up the armor a little bit so that it's kind of incorporated a little bit more into the bottom. I don't think that would be that bad. The other option, though, instead of doing that, is we could just go for a normal refinery, which would just look like this. We basically just position it like that. If I can, at least. Oh, we got lightning coming in. We basically just position it like that, and then it would look like just a normal refinery, sort of like that. And we can place the yield modules on the bottom. I don't know, that might work better. Just the old refinery. What's nice about this one, though, is it hangs off the side, gives us a lot of room on the ship. The only problem with these guys is that their only connections are on the top, which isn't that much of a problem if we plan on making our rover that high, I guess. Like one more. So it'd be essentially this high. Which isn't that bad. I mean, that's like a normal sized rover, I would think. Yeah, I don't think I mind that. And then we can just lower these suspensions to be able to get on board if we want to. We'll have a little button that lowers them. Okay, I like this. Maybe we just go with this. We should be able to build up our battery at this point. Let me just right-click that and get it built. Yep, see, we got all of our stuff almost. And more of our stuff. Just need a couple computers. We need a couple more. Didn't we build a bunch of computers in this one? Yes, there we go. Okay, we've got one functional battery on board the large grid rover. But I really want to build this guy. And maybe we won't do two. Maybe we'll just only do the one. Think about this, though. It's going to require about 1 billion steel plates. So all the iron that this is making, basically, go right back in there. And even more. Oh, my lord. We're going to need a lot. So we might not be able to get this up and running then yet. Okay, we're finally starting to run a little bit low on the iron. So that's the end of an era, I guess. This is going to take a little bit to make. The only hard part about this is the steel plates, which is going to take like 27,000 iron, which we don't have. But we have a little bit of iron left in here that this can produce. And then, I don't know, I guess what we could also do is this required 100. So we could remove this once we get to 1,000 for the remaining 100 that we need. That would help us along a little bit. And then once we get this built, anything we put in here will be refined really quickly. Like a lot faster than this guy. Sun's catching up to us, by the way. Now, cargo-wise, how are we going to do this? I think we're going to keep all the cargo maybe kind of in the middle, like right there. So we might do one there and one like this. Do these have, yeah, these do have connectors there. So if we did cargo like, well, okay, that's not even. If we did cargo like this, is it like, what is it, right there? Like that, yeah. We'd have one space to walk by, we can connect those right there, and the profile of our rover would look like this. Now, we know we're gonna need a block up there anyway. I need to refill my stuff, but, so yeah, that might be perfect for what we're looking for. And that's like kind of centered on the wheels a little bit. Maybe I move them forward one. Although we have 2 blocks between this, which is perfect if we want to stick like assemblers up top like that. Like, what would an assembler look like? And I'm talking about the cheap assembler, like the old assembler, because it's got more connections than the other one. So an assembler would have connections there. We could stick them right there. We could go boom, 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 boom. Maybe I do it like that, though. One there, and one there. So this assembler sort of acts like a connector, because it goes in there and it comes out there. So the assembler will connect these. We'll have them positioned like that. We've got a little bit of space down here. We can move around if we want to. And then we could put some blocks out here to make this look a little bit nicer as well. So a little bit of design work maybe right there. Not right now, but like at a future date. Oh wait, well, we wanted to be able to store that ship on top of this one. So let me think real quick. What we could do is we could remove, oops. We could remove one of these and put it on the front. Doing kind of the same thing. Then we'd have room. We'd have 1, 2, 3 blocks there. This thing takes up more than 3 though, because of the solar panels. Okay, I've encountered a problem. Our small grid ship is too big to put up there, and I wanted to stick it on here to kind of store it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna redesign a little bit. Now, with the solar panels, it's impossible. We can't do much to get this thing on here because it's just massive. We'd need like an entire back to keep it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this, remove that, And we're gonna give it 1, 2, 3, and we'll give it one more block out to the side here to position on. And then we're gonna redesign this guy so that its solar panels fold upward with a hinge. And that should allow it to store much easier. So then it'll be able to basically park up here and be fine. Okay, I think it's about time I made a hydrogen bottle. These are gonna make my life so much easier, so I don't have to keep going back to this thing for stuff. Where's my O2 H2? Right there. Thank you. And now we can fly! You know, I could ask myself this. Do we really need large grid? I mean, not large grid. Do we really need large cargo? I don't think we do. Because we're doing just fine with the small, or with the mediums there. And a small holds, how much was the small holding? If I build that back up. I can't build it back up. No, because I put all my stuff in there. Well, I don't know that we will need necessarily a large. Especially since the mediums might be more space efficient. We could stick them like there. We could stick them like there. And then we are still even on the... Like we're evened out a little bit. Like we don't have to worry about... because the problem I was worrying about is I was going to put a large grid cargo right here. But then all of our weight would be on one side of the ship, which would make it a little bit heavy on that side. But if we do something like that, then we can have our weight a little bit more distributed. And then maybe, I mean, maybe we just like go ham with these. Like 4 on each side. That's a lot of cargo. And we still have room to stick more. Then we've got the middle free so that I could drive something up on here, which should be enough space to drive this guy and have a little bit more room for something else if we want to add something. Or if we want to move these wheels back, we can add something back there. I think this is probably the way to go. We'll have everything kind of even, and then we'll have some sorters up top of here. Now I have to redesign how these are going to work, these assemblers, but I think it'll do quite nicely. Well, then pipe like that, and pipe like that. So you can come out this way, you come out that way. You have a little area. Yeah, I like this. There we go. 4 metal grids. Now we can do this. We can have this built up. Yes. Okay. We could probably manage to get the assembler built up as well. And then we wouldn't have to worry about this baby assembler here. We could remove that guy. What's the difference? So 120 steel plates would be hard to get. But this has a lot of them already. Make me steel plates, please. Make me computers and then make me steel plates. This already requires 80 computers. So the difference here is that this one would require 160, so double the computers. But that's like the biggest thing, that and the steel plates. So go ahead and make me like 60 more computers. So that requires like no iron. In fact, you know what? Make me a bunch of those so we just don't need more. Okay, the time has come. It's time to transfer all this stuff over to that one because we can now basically build it up. I've got those things. Let's see. Yeah, we only need the motors and displays that are in that. I think this has, how many displays do you have? 4? Well, we can make a couple more. I'll make 10. These are pretty cheap though. Yeah, requiring 10 iron total, like 1 iron per. So we can just make a couple displays then. Okay, and with those, we now only need 4 motors for this. So there's 2. How many more are you trying to make? You're trying to make a lot, good lord. Okay, there's our 4 motors. Let's go ahead and swap production over to finish those computers, and then start working on a couple of those, and then maybe, yeah, that's probably good. Okay, here's our assembler built up, and now we can start transferring things. It's upside down, don't worry about it. We can start transferring things over to this one. So let's remove everything out of this guy that we can, including the materials. We've run out of space here. Into this one, other materials as well, and then we can go ahead and deconstruct this one here, the basic assembler. And this shouldn't fall off. Yeah, it shouldn't fall off because it's held up right there. Awesome. Okay, we no longer have a basic assembler. We now have the actual assembler, and that's going to give us a lot of good things. So now we should be able to build the modules as well. So I'm going to stick those right there. The only modules I care about on the assembler, honestly, I don't care about assembler modules really. I mean, with power efficiency maybe. But we can't do a yield on the assembler, I'm pretty sure. And the speed module increases the power consumption quite a bit. I think with 2, even with 1, I mean, this is going to be way faster than the basic, so I'm not complaining. With these guys, though, a yield module would be good, since they don't add any extra power, and they do increase the yield by a lot. So they do have connections on the side, which is nice, because it means I'm not losing any structural integrity by cutting out that guy and placing my yield modules there. We'll start by placing just 1 down there, and then if we need more, we'll place them up top as well. There we go. Okay, there we go. We can build that up. That's our little connector there. And we should be able to build maybe that guy up as well. No, we need a couple more interior plates. But you might have a little bit of iron on you. Maybe you can make me a couple interior plates? Oh, look at that speed. This is just a demonstration. There we go. That's our other cargo container. Now we have these cargo connected up to there, so that's going to help us out a little bit. Okay, so at this point we have no more iron, so we've run out of iron, so we can't build this all the way up. That's fine though. What I think we're going to do is we're going to build a seat. We're going to try and get this guy onto this guy. We'll park it right there, and then we'll start heading out that way, and we'll try and detect some iron, and when we do, we can stop for it. But for now, let's get our seat down and start getting ready to go. We're gonna go with a control seat because I think it looks really nice for the ship. We're gonna get some interior plates from in here. From in here. And from in nowhere. Don't know that we'll be able to build this up, but I think right there is a decent spot. We might even move it out to here, but this is more central, so I kind of like it. Right click that, see if we can build it. I don't think we can, but we'll try. All right, we now have a seat. That's good. Now, how do we get that other ship onto this one? We could take a couple steel plates. Okay, for now, just to get us going, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that there, like that, and then we're gonna lower the suspension of the back wheels in order to let this thing get on. Let me name our wheels real quick so I know which ones are which. All right, now I have my large wheels back, large wheels front, and I've just got all my large wheels named. So our back wheels are not gonna steer. They're just gonna propulse, and our front wheels are not gonna brake. They're just gonna propulse and steer. So we have 6-wheel drive technically. Now, what I want to do right now is I want to put my back wheels with a height offset of like not that much. I'll even back up out here so I can see what's going on when I do that. So my back wheels, height offset, keep going down. Here we go, and that should, yep, awesome. Okay, so now, let's see what that looks like. Hey, that's pretty neat. Okay, now I can disconnect this guy. This poor guy who's like kind of flying now. I can switch lock here. And we can drive him around to the front. Now he should still have power because he's got the battery. So we made sure that that was accounted for. This guy on the other hand, I want to make sure he has some sort of way to connect to the ship. So we're gonna put a landing gear on the bottom. All right, there we go. We now have our, that thing. So we're gonna drive this onto the ship. Now, eventually I will implement like the fold-upable wing things here, the foldable solar panels. But for now, we don't necessarily need them. Okay, why is this thing's turning radius like nothing? We have like no turning radius on this. I feel like the turning radius is steeper than it's actually turning, but I don't know. It's fine. Maybe it's because we're on ice. Let's try and drift. We'll go straight and then like do a little skirt. Nope, that's not gonna work either. Okay. Well, we're at the mercy of this low turning radius then. Oh, is it because we have our gyros? Maybe it's because we have our gyros. Okay, let's drive up here. I don't know if this is enough, or if this is wide enough, but it should be just wide enough. So let's try and get up here, if we can. Is it long enough now? I guess it's just barely. Maybe not really. Let's park there for a second and let's examine the situation. Yeah, so it needs to be 1 block longer for our wheels to be able to just sit comfortably up there. Let's back off and we'll make it 1 block longer. Okay, 1 block longer. Should be enough. Let's drive up there. And I made it a little wider as well to get up, which never hurt anybody. All right. Let's park it right there. And it should now be perfectly on here. So in order to get this connected there, I'm gonna do the same thing with the wheels here. I'm gonna lower all the suspensions and hit the parking brake. Let's go ahead and decrease or increase the height offset here until the landing gear is showing as connected, which is there. And let's go ahead and hit number 9, which will switch lock onto the grid. Okay, we're now connected. Awesome. So I can remove these guys. And I'll make a more permanent solution later, maybe in a future episode. I know a lot of people like to see these like doors that kind of open like that. So maybe we'll do something like that. But yeah, at least for now we have this thing connected. And just make this nice. Maybe I'll add like that and that just for now. All right, with the sun gaining on us, I think it's about time to start heading a direction until we find some iron that we can mine. So we don't have an ore detector on this, but I think that ore detector will still work for us as long as we're in here. I don't know. We'll see when we stop over a thing. But let's see how this thing drives. We have two options. I think we're gonna go this way to the right, or we could go that way where it kind of goes up the mountain, but I don't really want to test it on a mountain quite yet. So I think we're just gonna go this way. Power-wise, we have plenty of power left, which I believe is all coming from the battery. So we'll monitor that. In fact, if I go over here and add the battery to my hotbar, will that show me stuff? Like if I toggle recharge on and off, will that show me how much? It will not show me how much power it is. There's a mod that I know adds the power to that, which is really nice, but for now, I guess we won't need it. Wow, we're traveling 35 and it doesn't even feel like it. I guess the bigger the wheels, the faster you can travel without it actually making a dent. Now we have to be a little bit worried here because we don't have a gyro on this thing. So if we flip up in the air or something, it's gonna be a disaster. I'm gonna keep an eye out for some ores. I actually like this ship a little bit. This is actually kind of nice. And it looks really cool seeing the little ship on the back with a very similar profile. Yeah, this is coming along nicely. Let's go up this very nice, gentle incline and see if there's maybe some iron right here, because we have a little deposit. I don't know if I want to test. Well, we'll go up this. See how crazy it gets. Okay, we're not getting anything from our ore detector. So maybe we won't get it unless we're sitting in the other seat. We'll go ahead and park. Maybe hop out, hop in this one. See what the ore detector says. Yeah, that's actually iron directly under us. That's actually really good luck. Okay, I guess our trip wasn't very far, but we have a very nice view of the Evolution Lake. And you can see why it's called Evolution Lake now, because we entered the lake with this, and we left the lake with this. A very evolutionary transition there. All right, we've got the beautiful iron. We're gonna get a lot of this stuff because we're gonna need way more of it moving forward. And once we have the refinery, it should go through it really quickly. So we'll grab a little bit of this. And the nice thing is we've parked our ship so we can just pop this right in there, go back down, grab more, etc. God, that's gonna require 18,000 iron, which shouldn't be that bad to get, but I don't know, we'll see. We really need that landing. If we didn't have that landing gear, this thing would just go whoop and roll down the mountain. All right, our little refinery is full now. One of the challenges of this series, you might remember, is that the refining is very inefficient and it's very, very slow. So we're gonna have to kind of let it do its thing here, and we're gonna have to keep driving, basically. We have a lot of iron in there, so it can do its job. But we have to give it time. So let's hop back in here. We'll say goodbye to this little bit of iron and we'll continue on our way. Hopefully we'll find more iron along the way. I know we will. There's a lot of it. But yeah, say goodbye to this little iron patch. We got what we needed from it. Let's continue. Where's our marker? 91 kilometers that way. That's kind of far. We're probably not going to go the full 30 kilometers we usually try to go because we spent a lot of time building in this episode, but it shouldn't be that bad. Like we discovered with the small grid rover, sorry tree, it's better to front load the building than to ignore the building because it makes the rover better. And in fact, getting a gyro on this thing might be pretty important at some point. I was warned about the little hills. Oh my gosh, sorry trees, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to knock you into next year, but you're in my way, okay? We're paving a road here. This is the Valley of Strewn Trees, is what we're gonna call this one. Because we're strewing the trees. Is that a word? Strewing the trees. I'm a little scared here because I'm noticing up ahead, it's looking like there's no way to continue in this valley. We either have to climb a mountain or turn around. And I'm not planning on turning around. Oh, here we go, strewing more trees. Oh my gosh. I guess we'll be climbing the mountain here. It's got a little zigzag path we can take, but I'm I think we're just gonna go up it. We're just gonna drive up, which might work. Let's see. Yeah, actually it looks like it's gonna work. Our wheels have us covered. We do have 6-wheel drive after all. Ooh, this is cool. This is a cool dune. Yeah, so these are bumpies, and they're not really a problem, you can see, with the large grid. But we did catch a little bit of air there. How far have we gone? We've already gone almost 10 kilometers from the episode 6 end. Oh my gosh, that's very far in like no time at all. Oh, sorry tree. Didn't mean to. One of these trees is gonna launch us into space. You watch. And we're gonna have deserved it, because we will have knocked over like a billion trees. Camouflage. Oh, there's so many trees. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Like the little death pit over there. If you don't see it, you just go like right in the middle. Or right into it. Oh, we're on the side of a mountain. Whoops. Let's get off the mountain before we regret it. First person in this, there's not much to see. A couple of dials. Doodads. We need like a little cockpit window thing, which maybe we'll build next episode. Third person though, it's quite nice. Ooh, that's a nice mountain right there. A very, very rocky like face for that one. I would not want to climb that mountain. That looks dreadful to try and climb, but it's very rocky, which is cool. Oh, I've launched like 3 trees at the same time. Sorry. Again, camouflage. Let's go over here. We might get a good, oh, there goes the other tree. Yep. We might get a good view of that mountain from like over here. Look at that. Oh, that's a nice one. What do you guys think that one should be called? The Rocky Mountains? The Slopes of Stone? The Gray Slopes? There's like a line going through it, right in the middle. The Gray, Green, Tan? I don't know. And then of course we've got Windows 95 background right here with the green. Yeah, maybe we'll take a screenshot of this one. We'll pause. This will be our first, well, technically our first actual destination with this guy. Oh my god, look how small I am compared to my little ship. Okay, there we go. We got a nice screenshot of that. Unknown slopes, rocky slopes, whatever. Let's continue. Let's see what else is out there. We are gonna have to cross this, it looks like. I don't know how easy that's gonna be. I guess we'll find out in a second once we get over this little hill. But yeah, it looks like we are kind of going toward some of it, a little bit. I bet we'll get a better view of the unknown mountains up here. Oh my gosh, there's a very rocky one right there. It's got a very rocky top. But there's the, wait, no. Oh no, that's the end. Oh, okay, I got turned around. I thought they were back there. No, that's the Rocky Mountains. Okay, it is very rocky. Oh my gosh. This just looks like a giant plains. Unless this is a little mountain we're facing. I don't know. Oh, goodbye, tree. I'm sorry. We do tend to do that. Launch trees at 1 billion meters per second. Okay, handbrake works pretty well. Had to try it out. Oh, we gotta watch out here. There's a little bit of a drop-off that I didn't see for a second there. But should be nothing for our thing. Let's stop over this ore patch here. And see, we'll do our little iron check, see what we got. We've got like a little dune over here as well. We'll stop here. Right here. Fell out. Let's have a quick look. I'll take out my drill real quick, see if there's... We got magnesium and silicon. I don't think I need that stuff right now. But iron-wise, we have a little bit here. We can throw into the assembler. Awesome. And then... Yeah, I wanted to check what's in here, though. It's a cool little cliff. Oh, nice. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is another like sinkhole sort of thing. Like we found, I think it was last episode, like a little sinkhole that goes just down. It's pretty neat. Oh, I heard lightning off in that direction somewhere. Let's try and make a little bit more distance, and then I think we're gonna end the episode. Oh, I saw it, I think. Oh yeah, oh gosh. Maybe we can outrun it, because it's going hard over there. Let's make a little bit of distance here. See if we can get past this, valley over here, which we're going that way, so I guess we obviously can. It's not really in our way. Oh, we're gonna launch another tree. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Oh, we're going right into the lightning storm. Oh man. Oh, I don't like that bump. Let's go this way. Oh, those trees are very small right there. Yep, we're going right into the lightning storm. Let's see if we can get past it, because it's gonna start raining pretty bad. Oh, is this a rock? There's a rock here. It's been a long time since we've seen a little rock. Nice. Looks like a blue thing. Maybe ice, maybe something else. Oh gosh, okay, it's starting to get dark. Oh, we're in for it. Maybe we can outrun it though. I don't want to get lightninged, because the lightning can destroy pretty much any block it wants to right now. Or me. Oh, we're gonna hit that. Whoops. Oh my gosh, twin mountains over there. That looks like a volcano on the left. Whoa, that's cool. What should we call that? Mount St. Earth Lake? I don't know. It's a little bit harder to see at this point. We're in for a bit of a storm. Oh my gosh, that really does look like a volcano, doesn't it? The one on the left? It's kind of shaped like a volcano would be. Oh, hills. I think we're headed toward that crest right there. Oh, we're gonna slam into another thing. Oh my gosh. We've got to be more careful. Let's try and get over there on that crest so we can take a nice picture of these two mountains, because they look really nice. It looks like there's an easy way up there. So if we can get up there, it'd be really cool. I think we're just gonna permanently have trees on us. That is... This rover's name has to be related to some sort of tree-eating thing. The woodcutter, the woodsman, something like that. Lumberjack. The storm's starting to stop. We don't have rain anymore, just a little bit of fog. And it's just in time to see a nice, beautiful view of these mountains in front of us. As we probably crash into a couple more trees. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Just trying to get a view. Oh, man. Look at that. That's perfect. Let's stop right next to this tree. Hopefully don't destroy it. And we'll get a nice view of it all. There we go. Check it out. We got, that's not the Rocky Mountain that we saw earlier. That's a different one. But then we've got the volcano looking one, and we've got another one in the background. A little bit of a white peak right over there. And then the rocky one, I guess, is like back there, maybe? Somewhere? Yeah, oh my gosh, we actually made it almost exactly 30 kilometers. Well, okay, hang on. I have to go forward just a few more feet then, just to make this official. And there we go. Awesome. All right, everybody, congratulations. We made it 30 kilometers. And we've stopped for a very nice view. We can get some screenshots here. Maybe some with the ship in the background as well. Here, I'll put myself right here. There we go. Beautiful screenshot of us with the mountains in the background. We'll get a better one with maybe the entire ship. That thing is crazy looking. It's looking really cool. I like it. And of course, today we visit the mountains. It's a rainy day, so we get rainy screenshots. What can you do? But anyway, that's where we're going to end this episode. I'll put a couple of the names of the other places from last episode on the screen that you guys came up with, so that we have those. I always love the names you guys come up with. What do you think this one should be called right here? This volcano-looking mountain. That'll be a nice one to name. But yeah, we got a lot done this episode, getting this entire large rover up and running. Even though it's not actually fully functional, it's still drivable, which is really cool. And we even have our small rover coming along with us, which is very nice. But if you guys like this episode, please hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. Put your comments and your suggestions down below in the comments section. And if you are new here, feel free to subscribe to get some notifications for when I post. And if you want to support the channel and get your name in the end credits here, there's a link to Patreon down below in the description. With that, I will see you all in the next episode of Space Engineers Mobile Survival.